What's up, my Century Units? It's the Centuryman here. So this is a reminder, folks. So days ago, I did a poll on an app called Poll for All for which WCW/NWA pay-per-view you want me to review. So far, who's leading? Who's winning so far? That is Spring Stampede 1994. The link of this poll will be in the comment section below. Click on it and just vote for which NWA/WCW pay-per-view you want me to review. So, the NWA/WCW pay-per-view review will be this Wednesday, folks. So, stay tuned. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my review of WWF In Your House: Revenge of the Taker. What's up, my Century Units? It's the Centuryman here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So, we're going back to the year of 1997, part of WWF in 1997, 25 years later, story arc. So, today I'm reviewing In Your House: Revenge of the Taker at the Rochester Community War Memorial. Right now it's called the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. On the 20th of April, 1997, the attendance of the show was 11,477. Revenge of the Taker received about 120,000 pay-per-view buys, the same buy rate as the Final Four in February, 2 months earlier. That was the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania 13. Revenge of the Taker is the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania 13. The commentators of the show was Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler. Like I said, the first pay-per-view after Mania 13. You had the Hart Foundation was reformed, well, not reformed, but formed after Bret Hart did the promos, is hating the fans around the United States and America. Owen and Bulldog, they're kind of like, at each other's throats. Bret kind of like put their differences aside. The Hart Foundation, the new Hart Foundation was formed. They're kind of like, around the world, they're kind of like beloved, but in America, they totally despised. So, and also there was a video package building up this rivalry between The Undertaker and Mankind. We'll get to the WWF World Title match later on in this review. So, this show, I'll get to my final thoughts in the end. Let's check the dark matches of the show. The one match of the free for all. I don't know. I don't really collect the predecessor to the pre-show matches you see today in today's WWE product. So, in the free for all, you had the Sultan defeating Flash Funk. Flash Funk is Too Cool Scorpio. The two dark matches, you had Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon defeating the Godwins, and then you had Hunter Hearst Helmsley defeating Goldust, and it was a 20-minute match. I'm guessing it was because at the time Raw was a tape show. Why it's not on a pay-per-view beats me, don't know. So anyway, so the first match to kick off Revenge of the Taker, we got this is the WWF Tag Team Championship match. We got Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. They defended the WWF Tag Team Championships against the Legion of Doom, aka the Road Warriors. Legion of Doom came back, at WrestleMania 13. This was part of the rivalry between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation of Domination. And the reason why the Legion of Doom came back to the World Wrestling Federation to become tag team champions once again. I think they were tag team champions before they came back in 97. Yeah, they split after 1992. Because I think at the time, it was Hawk had like a real life personal drug problem. And then I think Animal, did his version of the Legion of Doom in Japan. And then they reunited again in 1996. When the Road Warriors went to return to WCW, and and now they're back in the World Wrestling Federation. And by the way, and Bulldog is also the European champion. So the match, the booking throughout the whole show was inconsistent. I'll get to my final rating of the show at the end of this review. So the match between the Road Warriors, or LOD, versus Bulldog and Owen, okay match, but the booking was crap. So basically, before that you had Austin. There was a split screen, like Austin came. He came to the building. You had, I think you had Pat Patterson, the future stooge of Vince McMahon, the following year in 1998, says, like, where are you? And Austin says, I'm changing my tie, you jackass. He looks like he's holding, like, a toolbox, but it's his suitcase, preparing for his match with Bret Hart. We'll get to later on the show. We'll get to Bret and Austin match later on in this review. Anyway, so like this. Here's the funny booking of this match. So the Road Warriors, basically had they basically Owen and Bulldog working on Hawk, and Hawk basically kind of pushed Bulldog onto Owen, and then the Hawk and Animal hit a power slam off the top rope onto Bulldog to self-proclaim, won this match, and became the WWE Tag Team Champions. I think this is their second time. Look it up on Wikipedia. I think they did one. Yeah, I swear they did won it before. They debuted in the first run in 1990 to 1992. So I'm guessing like this is their self-proclaimed second run in the company, second title reign in the company. Bulldog and Owen were tag team champions, hold the belt for a very long time. They were tag team champions in 1996, so they were September of 1996. So they're on the hold this belt for about nearly 200 plus days. So the Road Warriors. We'll get back to the match shortly. I'm just doing my research. 1990. Yeah, they won the belts in 91. So the first, this is their first. That was the first only title reign for the Road Warriors, and then the funny thing. So like they did, like I think it was Hawk and Animal hit the power slam onto Bulldog off the top rope. Did I say top dog? Yeah, top dog hit the Bulldog off the top rope. Sorry, my apologies. And won this match, won the tag team titles for the second time, but unfortunately, they changed the decision. Why they're doing a dusty finish beats me. And they say like, oh, this was, they pinned the illegal person, so basically pinned the wrong person. I'm guessing Bulldog was not the legal man tagged in this match. So why? So basically, Owen and Bulldog left the ring, and then they announced that if they do not come back to the ring for the count of 10, they will automatically lose the tag team titles. So Owen and Bulldog came back to the ring. I think LOD hit the Doomsday device onto, I think it was on Owen, and then the referee once again said, "Oh, he's not the legitimate man in the match. Not in the match, but not really tagged in." This is getting confusing, by the way, folks. And then all of a sudden, Bret Hart came out of nowhere and caused basically attack. I think he hit like Hawk or Animal that caused the DQ, and Owen and Bulldog retains the tag team titles. So, what the fuck? They went on to win the tag team titles later on in the year, but in my opinion, I think at that moment of time, the Legion of Doom's momentum was cooled off. I think they should have struck it when the iron was hot. And then you got Doc Hendricks, aka Michael P.S. Hayes, interviewing Owen and Bulldog. And I think like they say, like Doc Hendricks says, I'm guessing you're lucky keeping hold of the tag team titles, And Owen Hart says, we're not lucky, we're the we were the tag team champions because we're the best it is, the best it was, the best ever will be. We beat everyone goes in our path, and also and Hendricks says, your brother might be not so lucky when he faced Steve Austin. He showed up during a match, and Owen and Bulldog said that he's not there, something like that. So this is building up the blueprints for this show. I'll get to more of that when we'll get to Austin and Bret Hart. So anyway, so yeah, I think it was I could say the wrestling was fine, but the booking really brought this match down. So yeah, like I said, why are you doing a dirty finish? I wish they pulled the trigger on the LOD tag team title reign. Give him like a month or 2 months. I give it like a month and a half, and then they end up dropping the tag team title to Owen and Bulldog again. But besides that, it's just like, yeah, dirty finish. What the fuck? Move on. So moving on, this is for and also speaking of another dirty finish. So yeah, the next match we got the Intercontinental Championship match. We got Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Savio Vega. Savio Vega defeated Rocky Maivia on the Go Home show to Raw. Go and check it out. I did a review on it. That was a boring match. It was in South Africa. So in the corner of Savio Vega, he's representing the Nation of Domination. That is Farouk, Crush, JC Eyes, Wolfie D, D'Lo Brown, and Clarence Mason. Clarence Mason went on to become J Biggs, or Mr. Biggs, in WCW in 2000 during the whole feud between Booker T and Stevie Ray. Match sucked. The match on Raw was sucked. This match sucked as well. Very boring. I was completely bored of this match. It's just like I completely tuned out of it. No chemistry between Savio Vega and Rocky Maivia. It's funny that I will get to the short. We'll get to. It's funny that Rocky ended up being part of the Nation of Domination. That's what I'm trying to say. But it was boring. In the end, Crush cost Savio Vega the Intercontinental Championship. Hit Rocky Maivia with the Heart Punch, and then the match ended in a countout. Dirty finish again, folks. Why? Why can't you just hit Rocky Maivia with the Heart Punch? Why? Yeah, they did got interfered by the other members of the Nation. Why can't you just do like this? Like the other nations distracting the referee. Then Crush hit Rocky Maivia with a Heart Punch, put him back in the ring. Savio Vega pins The Rock, and Hellman wins the title. I don't get it. And then afterwards, Savio Vega and Crush got pissed off, and then Farouk, and he's really on commentary, basically wearing a sling. I'm guessing the announcer said that he severed a separate shoulder, and then Farouk kind of be the peacemaker, and then they take their frustration onto Rocky Maivia even further. And then all of a sudden, Ahmed Johnson came out of nowhere and basically called a promo that you will never see, you will never hear in today's WWE product. He called other members of the Nation of Domination like illegal immigrants and convicts and your black ass. He kind of set the challenge because on the Go Home show to Raw, he challenged, basically it was Ahmed Johnson taking on the members of the Nation of Domination. If Ahmed Johnson wins, and the whole Nation of Domination disbanded, and that's that they went on to do that, and then that's a lot of crock of shit because the First Nation end up breaking up. Crush and Savio Vega end up forming their own groups. I don't know what happened to JC, was it JC Ice and Wolfie D end up leaving the company? I don't know. It's funny that, Ahmed Johnson and Rocky Maivia, they end up be part of the Nation of Domination later on in the year. So what's the point of, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to blow up this rivalry between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation, and they end up being part of the Nation months later. Yeah, this match between Savio Vega and Rocky Maivia was shit. It was just filling up the rivalry between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation. I'm not keen on the first Nation of Domination. I like the second one with The Rock and, the Common Mustafa, the future Godfather, and D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, and then added Owen Hart. But this one doesn't do nothing for me because the second one is more like a typical good anti-black faction because you got Savio Vega's Hispanic, you got Crush is a white man, Farouk, I think not Farouk, Farouk is a black man, JC Ice and Wolfie D are white. And yeah, seeing D'Lo Brown wearing a tuxedo, it didn't really do nothing, I'm guessing that was a hip hop type of thing, demographic, and then moving on to like an African American faction. Even though The Rock, yeah, his dad's black as well, but I don't know. It's funny that when The Rock, came back, after the knee injury, before the Nation Domination, Savvy Vega's already gone, formed the Los Boricuas, Crush formed the Disciple of the Populace. So, anyway, so enough of my rambling. Let's move on to the next match. So the next match, we got Jesse James taking on the mysterious opponent for him. This was during the rivalry between Jesse James. By the way, Jesse James is the future Road Dogg. This rivalry between Jesse James and the Honky Top Man, because a couple weeks ago on Raw, Honky wants Jesse James to be his protege, his mentor, but instead he kind of like smashed his guitar, and the Honky Top Man announced his new protege. That is Rockabilly, aka Billy Gunn. What the fuck? So what's the point of having Billy Gunn punching him in the face, and then all of a sudden, he's my new protege? What the fuck? It's just basically like, hey, I'm gonna punch me in the face, and all of a sudden, join the group. You're my new mentor because you punched me in the face. What the fuck? Why can't you just keep it as a secret instead of having Billy Gunn on an episode of Raw? Keep it as a surprise. Beats me, I don't know. It's cool to see, the future, members of the New Age Outlaws, but this match sucked. No one really gives a shit. It's cool to see Rockabilly, Billy Gunn hitting the famous onto Jesse James. I tried to keep it short and simple. In the end, Jesse James rolled up Rockabilly for the win. And then afterwards, Honky Top Man trying to hit Jesse James with a guitar. I'm guessing he missed. And that was it. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I'm sorry about my language, man. This is stupid. Completely stupid. It's dumb. It's funny that, Jesse James and Rockabilly, he'll become Billy Gunn months later. They end up forming one of the best popular tag teams in, not just in the Attitude Era, but in pro wrestling in general, the New Age Outlaws. It's just like, the feud, and also they form a tag team, become one of the best and popular tag teams in wrestling history. Wow, it's just like, whatever, man. So moving on to technically the final two matches, that basically is the saving grace of the show. So the next, and then also the Jesse James and Rockabilly match. There was no build to this. This is for like a match you probably see on Monday Night Raw, not on a pay-per-view that's people sparing a lot of money. Anyway, so moving on to the next match. So the next match, this is for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. The Undertaker defending the belt against Mankind with Paul Bearer in his corner. Undertaker won his second world title at WrestleMania 13 against Psycho Sid. This is a long, lengthy rivalry between The Undertaker and Mankind. It started in 96 when Mankind debuted, Mick Foley debuted with the company. I think it was the Raw after Mania 12, and they won't feud until the summer of 96, they fought at King of the Ring. They fought in the Boiler Room Brawl at SummerSlam of 1996. I said that match and that rivalry between The Undertaker and Mankind kind of put Mick Foley's career on the map, because Mick Foley, don't get me wrong, he did, he wrestled in WCW and ECW. Yeah, I think he had a brief rivalry with Sting over the world title, but he was not really going to be a top guy in that company. He was more like a tag team guy, like an afterthought. Same as ECW, he had I think he was feuding with Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk in ECW, but not going to be a big deal. I think going into WWF was the best thing for Mick Foley. He ended up becoming a big star in that company. In the Attitude Era. So let's fast forward in '97. So like I said, Taker was the world champion. The whole stuff where Paul Bearer wants Undertaker taken back. That was a ruse. Taker basically not fell for Paul Bearer's bullshit, and then Mankind throwing the fireball in the face of the Undertaker, and also Mankind was the #1 contender for Undertaker's world title. This was the Raw after Mania 13 for no reason. God help me. I'm not saying God help me. It's just like, it's just basically out of nowhere. It's just whatever. And also, that's not the original match. So I found on Wikipedia that the original match on this show, it was supposed to be The Undertaker versus Mark Merrow for the WWF title. Unfortunately, Mark Merrow, I think he came back or he suffered a knee injury, so I don't think they really had a match between The Undertaker and Mark Merrow. Maybe they had a match on Raw, but not in a rivalry. That would be good. That would be a good rivalry. Mark Merrow, Undertaker, they're both good workers. Unfortunately, it has to do with timing. You know, yeah, he had a knee injury. You know, he did show on this show in an interview with Dark Hendricks, with Sable. This before, the whole jealousy storyline between Mark Merrow and Sable. Oh, Sable, sorry. Call it Stable, by the way. By the way, Sable is the future wife of Brock Lesnar. And also, he had the return on the show, Brian Pillman. This hot call line with Sonny, Tommy Sitch. He'll be part of the Hart Foundation later on in the year. We'll get to that in the future. Anyway, so let's get to this match. So the match was good. I really liked this match between The Undertaker and Mankind. They really had good chemistry. They didn't really say this is a no DQ match, but they fight in the ring. They didn't got count out. I feel like one more match, you kind of like Undertaker banged Mankind's head onto the barricade. It was physical. I think Mankind hit Undertaker in the head with a water jug, and followed with a chair shot to the head. Taker pulled, really ripped the mask off the face of Mankind, his face mask. This is one good spot I'm going to talk about. So, Taker grabbed the blue steel steps at the time, that were blue at the time, grabbed the steel steps, rammed it onto Mankind. He was leaning on the ring apron. He took that crash. Taker hit Mankind with the steel steps, and Mankind crashed into the Spanish announce table. That was a cool spot. That was sick. And I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. In the end, Taker hit the Tombstone Power Drive onto Mankind to win this match and really retained the title, by the way. It makes sense because Taker just already won the title at WrestleMania. So afterwards, you had I'm guessing Mankind's holding something in his hands. I'm guessing he's for the second time trying to throw a fireball in the face of the Undertaker. This time, Undertaker thwarted. I don't know what he's holding. It looks like Undertaker's holding the lighter. And he goes revenge onto Paul Bearer. He throws the fireball in the face of Paul Bearer. And that was it. It was. I think they got things accomplished. Taker got revenge on Paul Bearer and Mankind. And then, and also in the main event, they showed screens like Mankind and the police. You had the referees and the paramedics basically escorted Paul Bearer into the ambulance because he suffered the fireball in the face by the Undertaker. I don't think they fight one more. They'll probably have to fight one more time in '97, but no, I don't think they're fighting one more. I think they fight the only one time in '97. The next time they fight again, it'll be a year later in 1998, and then up to the infamous Hell in a Cell match at King of the Ring in the following year, 1998. That's another story for another time. Paul Bearer ended up ditching the dark hair, the mustache, and the white skin. I think it was the right decision because I think at this moment in time, Paul Bearer's character was getting stale, and this set up the this accusation storyline. Undertaker and Paul Bearer end up feuding later on going into the whole of '97 and into 1998. So it set up the accusation storyline with basically Paul Bearer accusing the Undertaker. And the word with normal skin, no mustache. I think he had strawberry blonde hair. I don't think it's ginger. He had strawberry blonde hair, Paul Bearer. He ended up accusing the Undertaker of killing his parents in the funeral home as a kid, and it led up to the debut of Kane at Bad Blood later on in the year. So we'll get to that part in future Raws. So it set up one of the best rivalry. It filled up the rivalry between Undertaker and Paul Bearer. To getting shot. The fireball in both Taker and Paul Bearer's face to accusing Taker of killing his parents and his brother, and led up to Kane and set up the first Hell in a Cell match to their match at WrestleMania 14 the following year in 1998. So moving on to the main event. The main event, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on Bret Hart 3. It started at Survivor Series the previous year in '96 at Madison Square Garden. It continued throughout the early parts of 1997. Royal Rumble. We had self-proclaimed Austin. Bret eliminate Austin, but referee did not see it. Austin win that Rumble match in San Antonio, Texas. Then the final four in the fatal four-way. Sorry, I'm speaking too fast, by the way, folks. To the fatal four-way match at Final Four in February. To Austin costing Bret the WWF title against Psycho Sid. To the match at WrestleMania 13. I think it was a no DQ match or submission match at Mania 13. You had Bret locking the sharpshooter onto Austin. Austin bled. He passed out. Now to the coup de grace of this rivalry. So, early on in the show, Austin showed up, and then during the an interview between Doc Hendricks and Mark Mero and Sable, you had Owen and Bulldog being down Steve Austin. They didn't really show Owen and Bulldog attacking Austin. They kind of left the it looks like a bathroom or a changing room or a locker room, holding they look like they're holding crutches, but it was kind of like some white metal bars. And then I think Bulldog and Owen says Austin started first, and then I think Bret says who's a crybaby now, and then there was one funny interview I'm going to talk about right now before we get to the main event. Doc Hendricks said to Bret Hart, why are these two there? And Bret says it's none of your business for a star. It says me and the American wrestling fans are very unforgiving. If I come out today and says I'm sorry about anything, would they forgive me? No. If American wrestling fans, holding signs says Bret Hart #1, would I forgive them? No. And also says, this is gonna be a little war. I'm gonna cripple and maim Stone Cold Steve Austin. And let's talk about this match. So this is you can say the second best match. It's debatable about the world title match and this match, which one's the match of the night. But I really like this match. Like Undertaker and Mankind, Austin and Bret, they really had good chemistry. I really like this match. So the bulk of the match, you had Bret working on the leg of Austin, remove his knee brace. The announcer bring up that Austin had a knee injury in the previous year, in '96. You had Bret locking the figure four leg lock onto Austin. On the ring post, the normal figure four leg lock onto the ring, inside the ring. Sorry, but they told a good story. They had some physical. They had some. The booking is so inconsistent. No one got DQ'd. There's no DQ matches. You had to Bret grabbing the chest, ran it into Austin's leg. They told a good story in the ring. And also before that, you had Bulldog and Owen trying to come down to escort Bret, but they got really escorted out of the ring by referees and Gorilla Monsoon. But they came back. I knew when I'm watching this, I knew Owen and Bulldog will come back and help Bret win. Actually, he didn't really win, so Austin locking the sharpshooter onto Bret. It's the same hold that Austin did not submit it at the submission match at Mania 13. Austin and Bret start. Austin let go of the hold, stopping Bulldog and Owen trying to interfere. Then he locking the hold again, the sharpshooter again, And then Bulldog hit Austin in the back of the head with the chair. That caused the DQ. I'll get to the booking part in the final reigns a bit shortly. And then, yeah, the match ended disqualification. And then Brett trying to hit Austin with the ring bell. You know, it's the same ring, not the same ring bell, but the ring bell that hit him in the head in that submission match at Mania 13. I think Austin hit Brett in the knee with the chair and locked in the sharpshooter that basically injured the knee of Bret Hart. And this set up, I think it's the next night on Raw, Austin further up the knee injury of Bret Hart. So it's still continuing the rivalry between Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Hart Foundation. So at least Austin got, it's a shame that Austin never got a vital pinfall win over Bret Hart. At least he got a win. You know, Bulldog, instead of helping, actually they did dirty. You had Bret cost. Actually, they don't really care at this moment in time because I don't know. This is kind of confusing. This booking decision thing is fucking stupid. Like I said, I'll get to that shortly. But at least Austin got. The point I'm trying to say, folks, I think at least Austin got the win. It's not like Bret beat him for the third time, but I think he never truly got a leg on onto Bret Hart. The first match Bret won. The second match of Mania 13. Bret went for the second time. It's not like they beat Austin for the third time again. That'd be fucking stupid. But at least Austin got the win by disqualification. But I wish they just did that. Austin get the win instead of. I don't think Bret did. I don't know. Bret tapping out would be weak, but it'd be cool if it'd be deja vu from that match of Mania 13. At least the main event, they should have done it for them in the main event of Mania 13, but it has to do the world title match. Has to be the main event of a WrestleMania. But Hogan and Sid main event Mania 8, so that's not making any sense. I know. So at least Austin and Bret was the main event. I've been the main event of Survivor Series 96, so we'll get to that Survivor Series next time. Not next time, but in the future, was Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid. But at least Bret and Austin main event the pay-per-view. Yes, Austin got his revenge on Bret Hart. Getting the fans go happy. But yeah. Anyway, so my final rating of In Your House, Revenge of the Taker, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. This was shit. Shit show. I don't say it's a terrible show, but this was mediocre shit. The two matches, you have to watch. I'd rather watch. I don't recommend you watch In Your House, Revenge of the Taker again. But if you want to watch, just watch the final two matches of the show. That is Taker, Mankind, and Austin and Bret. But besides that, fucking hell, the undercard sucked. You had 3 matches with, the tag team title match was ending in disqualification. The IC title match, between Rocky Maivia versus Savio Vega, ended in a countout. And in the main event, Austin and Bret, the match ended in a disqualification. 3 matches with dirty finish. What the fuck? It didn't do any favors of the show. The 2 matches in the bad for me. Has to be Savio Vega, Rocky Maivia versus Savio Vega. It was just furthering up the rivalry between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation of Domination. The whole Jesse James versus Rockabilly match, that was just, it didn't really accomplish anything. It was just meh. You thought Rockabilly's going to win, but instead Jesse James got the victory, got the leg onto the Hoggy Top Man. But yeah, the only thing the okay has to be the tag team title match. I enjoyed the match, but the booking decision, not having LD winning the belts on the show was a bit. They should have struck it when the iron was hot. But yeah, the only 2 matches worth in the good has to be Taker versus Mankind for the WWF Championship, and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, and also. On Wikipedia, it says the winner will become the number 1 contender for the Undertaker's World Wrestling Federation Championship. Why? I don't think the announcers brought that up, but yeah, Austin went on to face Taker at Cold Day in Hell the next month's pay-per-view. we'll get to next month or reviewing that pay-per-view. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of In Your House, Revenge of the Taker. Leave a thoughts in the comments below, smash that button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time we're going back to 2012, you know, the start of the month I reviewed WrestleMania 28, that was the Rock and John Cena WrestleMania, so let's review the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania 28, so Brock Lesnar. His first WWE match since WrestleMania 20 against Bill Goldberg. His first match back in the company was the face of the WWE at the time. That was John Cena. It will be at the All-State Arena. You got the Chicago Street Fight, Punk and Jericho, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. I'm talking about Extreme Rules 2012, folks. This is the Sentiment officially signing out. Check you later, folks.